Hi, welcome to the very first video on the I've Pet That Pokemon channel. For the last few years I've been creating art based on having Pokemon as pets and showing them off in their everyday lives. I'm also an avid crocheter, having worked on many Pokemon projects over the years, and that's where we'll start off today. Inspired by other craft channels like Complicated Knots and Pumpkin Plushness, I thought it'd be a really fun idea to make this series of videos blogging my crochet journey in Pokemon Scarlet. The basis of this challenge will be set around the surprise trade feature. Introduced in Generation 6's Wonder Trade, this feature allows you to trade a selected Pokemon with a random player. What you receive will be a mystery, a great basis for a video I think. I'll catch one Pokemon before each gym, Titan and Team Starbase, and surprise trade them away for a completely random Pokemon. I'll then crochet that Pokemon and return to the game to beat their corresponding challenge. That means we'll end the game having crocheted at least 18 Pokemon. I'm expecting a lot of the early game Pokemon like Lechonk, Hoppip and Tarantula, which is just a ball of yarn anyway, so I'll put some rules in place before starting. I'll only accept one Pokemon from each species, no duplicates. So if I receive 2 Lechonk, I will trade the second one away until I get a new Pokemon. The same rule if I should get their evolution, like Oinkologne. These Pokemon will naturally evolve over the course of this challenge, so let me know if I should crochet their evolutions too. I'd appreciate your input. With that, let's begin. We start our journey in Paldea, like many others have, with a huge introduction. I get enrolled into Naranja Academy and race to Nemona's house to pick up my first partner Pokemon. Whichever we pick doesn't matter, as we won't be using them for this challenge. I go for my least favourite, Quaxly and Battle Nemona. Now I want to keep Quaxly around until we have a few badges, just in case anything should happen, so it's time to catch our first tradable Pokemon. No surprises, but there happens to be the scripted Lechonk, who I name Hamon-Rai. Still unable to trade, we have to feed Koraidon a sandwich, escape the Houndoom Cave and meet Arven. Eventually we make it all the way to Los Platos, where finally we can surprise trade. Goodbye Hamon-Rai, I hope you'll be loved by your new trainer. And in Lechonk's place we receive a Skiddo. I'm so happy with this first arrival. I've never used a Skiddo or a Go-Goat in any playthrough of a game, so I look forward to seeing what it can do. It's also a nice simple design with only a few colours. I think this is a great start to the crochet challenge. So let's begin with looking at the design of Skiddo. It has a spherical face with a slight snout. I previously made an Eevee with a similar face shape, so I can easily replicate that. The head is made up of white and brown, the brown covering the back and top of the head and extending down the nose, 2 oval brown ears, 4 brown spikes that circle the dark grey horns. I've never made this shape for the horns before, but I can only give it a go. Then we have a dark grey nose, 4 white tufts of hair under the ears and a white beard. I'll add the eyes in felts. The body is a brown oblong with a shaggy effect at the base. The head and body are connected by a leafy mane which runs along Skiddo's back and ends with a 3-leaf tail. The legs have orange cloven hooves and white stockings which change to brown higher up the leg. The back legs have a slant and a bend in them. I think this will be the most challenging part for me, so I may need to test a few things out first. Day 1 of crochet begins on Good Friday. I'll run through the colours I'm using first. I have a leafy green for the mane, brown for the body, black for the horns and nose, orange for the hooves and white for the head and legs. So I settle in and get comfy, grab myself a drink, feed my Snorlax and pop on one of my favourite shows, Let's Crochet. I begin with the head in white, which is simple enough. We're basically just making a ball with increases for the nose shape. The body follows soon after. I always find it easiest to get these big sections out of the way first. I leave it there for the day and pick it back up the following day. I begin with a short walk and attempt to get some energy for the day ahead, forgetting that coffee usually makes me sleepy. Nevertheless, we persevere. I continue with the head, crocheting the brown face mask and nose. I create the leafy mane by making 3 green flowers of different sizes. Stacked together, I think they should look quite effective. Then the back and tail followed shortly after. Easter Sunday, I finish off the head. I make the horns as best I can. Make the ears, the tufts of the hair and the beards. With the head done, I decide to sew all my pieces together and fix it to the body. Now it's time to do the legs. The front legs are easy enough. My colour changes to make the brown triangles aren't great, but they'll do. The project then really slows down as I sadly have to return to work. My job doesn't give me much time before or afterwards for personal projects, so I have to wait until the following Friday to finish. I play around with the back legs before settling on this style. These can now all be attached to the body and I can cut out some felt eyes. I made several triangles to create the shaggy effect of its coat. And that is our Skiddo complete. He now needs to prove himself against one of the many challenges ahead. Consider his level and typing, I thought it's pointless to hit up the bug or grass gyms, so headed over to the stony cliff titan, Klawf. We find the titan hugging one of the cliff faces. With a mighty leap, the Klawf begins battle. I'm not worried though, Skiddo's got this. We have type advantage and Razor Leaf comes through for us despite our minus attack nature. With just a few leaves, we finish his first stage. The Klawf skedaddles away and powers up with some herbs. Arvin teams up with us for the second round and we demolish the big crab with ease. I terrastalize Skiddo, powering up our grass moves. I did wonder if I should crochet the terrastal hats too, but decided against it, perhaps a project for another day. Klawf is no match for a terrastalized Razor Leaf. We crit and Klawf is no more. Skiddo has done it and earned our first victory. This gives us access to Koraidon's sprint ability, and it also means we can catch the next Pokemon to trade. There are some Skiddo just outside the Titan's Cave, so what better offering for our next challenge? Find out who we'll be making next time. Thank you for watching. I had a lot of fun making this and I really appreciate the love I've gotten for my art over the years. I hope this will be something fruitful for the future. See you next time.